Hi, I'm Samriddhi Gambhir, and I'm one of the speakers for this session where we'll be discussing about the RP and data analytics.
Hi everyone, I'm Lovely Munjal and I'm pairing with Samriddhi and welcome to our virtual podcast.
Okay, so here we'll start with exact RPA. We have heard about it, or you might have not have heard about it. So if we take the full form of this thing, it's called robotic process automation. Now let's just bifurcate each and every word and know what is the meaning of it. Robotic in a very lay term, you see anything that can mimic the human action, behave like human, intelligent. A process is always a sequence of steps that we do to lead to a meaningful activity. And automation, where we all are
Yes, Samriddhi, I don't know whether you can hear us right now, but we are not able to hear you properly. You are frozen.
Let's wait for a minute, otherwise I can share the screen.
Lovely, can you please share your screen in the interest of time?
So what is RPA? Am I audible clearly?
Yes, Lovely.
Okay, so let's start. So what is RPA? RPA is basically robotic process automation. And when we talk about the robotic, it's like a software robot. So whatever the human does, the robot will mimic that action. So that's why we call it robot. And what is process? So any business process, anything that is a sequence of steps like opening the file, copy pasting some data, saving into some Excel file, CSV file, so that we call it a process. The process is a sequence of steps. And automation, that is tasks happen automatically. That will be done by a robot. So that's why the name is RPA, robotic process automation. And one thing we want to discuss, robotic process automation is for rule-based tasks. Like for example, there is any finance activity or you want to fill the idea or you want to do any IT process, like for you want to do some sort of activity for HR, IT process, all these things that has some rule-based process can be done by RPA. So one question you might be thinking how it is different from other automation tools. So basically, other automation tools, if we talk about the Selenium, that you use for the UI automation and you use for the test execution. So one big difference is RPA is not used for the test execution. It is used in a production for the automation of process. For example, when you call to customer care service and they reply or they do some task at the back office, and similarly, task RPA software can also do. And other automation tools are specific to application. Like for example, Selenium works on the web application, and other tools work on the window application. Few tools can work on window and web application. But RPA basically doesn't depend on the type of the application. It works on the UI layer, not on the API layer. So that's why it can work on any application or product in Windows operating system. So that's the main difference. And good thing is like for most of the tool nowadays, they are evolving a lot and we don't need any programming language to automate any flow. We can just drag and drop a lot of things. We will see it in the demo, but for now, just understand we will not be required any programming knowledge for any RPA tool. For the advanced things, we can use the programming, but it's not required for basic activities. And not only it reduce the cost and execution time like other automation tool also does, but it will enhance the customer experience also because it will be quick and without any human error. So that's why RPA is popular nowadays. A lot of tools are available for RPA like UiPath, Bluetooth, Automation Anywhere. So see some real use cases. So basically RPA used a lot in the finance applications. So Deloitte is using RPA to provide the tax filing service to their clients, and EY is also using for the similar activities. And they are saving a lot of time. Time means actually you can say the human time, or if the human time is saved, then it means money is saved. So EY say they have approximately saved around more than 70% of the human effort. Like they move from 1400 hours to 280 hours every year for the text, for the ITR filling. And in PwC also, people are using RPA in internal audits, a lot of things like risk assessment and other tasks. So basically every rule-based task can be automated by RPA. Yeah, so for the demonstration, we will use one tool, that is UiPath. But we don't recommend any tool. It depends on the various sector like license cost of the tool, technical skill set, and feature provided by the tool. But we are using UiPath because it provides a free community edition that you can also use, and it's very easy to use. You have to just drag and drop few activities to make a process. So what is UiPath? UiPath is basically name of the tool, but it is actually name of the company also. That was founded in 2005. That developed a platform for the robotic process automation. And UiPath has various components. It's not a single tool. They will demonstrate the UiPath Studio, and it is basically a UI tool that you can use for the automation of any task, and it has inbuilt robot also that will execute the task based on your request. So you will click the run button, then it will execute. But in actually, in business, these robots are actually not managed by human, but those robots will be costly. Like it will cost around $8,000 for the per robot, like for each robot. So, but that robot we are talking about in UiPath Studio, that are free of cost for 1 month, and it is less costly than unattended robot. Unattended robot means no human intervention will be required. And UiPath Orchestrator. So this is also a paid tool by UiPath. Here, what we can do, for example, we have a lot of robots and we want to manage. So basically, it provides a web application that enables us to deploy, schedule, monitor, and manage our robots. By just single click, you can start any process on any robot, like you see on the UI diagram part. Sridhar, are you back? Okay, I will continue. So let's take a practical example. So every company has some portal, like in Portworx we have Expensify where we put all the expenses. So maybe your company will also have some portal for that. And what employees do, they actually put all their invoices, all their bills on some Expensify portal, like in PDF format. And first you want to extract all the necessary details like order ID, customer name, amount, order date. So that will be a quite boring, and it will take time, human time to do any process. And then save these details in any file or database in some specified format. So these steps are quite time consuming. Second and third step, you can say. So second and third step, these we can automate by any RPA tool. We will use UiPath for now. And further advantage is that it will not only automate the process, it will collect the data also in some structured format. We will collect the data in Excel, and that can be further used for any data analysis part or to train a machine learning model. For anything we can use, because data is the key of success in digital world. So if we talk about the second and third task, like extract all the necessary details like order ID, customer name, amount, and order date from the invoice, and then save the details in any file on database. So what will be the manual task? See, The first, as a human, I will open the file explorer where we want to save the extracted data. I will create an empty Excel file, and then I will go to all the invoices one by one. I will copy paste each and every field, and then I will paste in the Excel file. Then save the file. And if we want to report, then you will send the file by email to someone. You will write the email, write subject, attach the file. All these things will be done manually, and you can see a lot of applications will be involved in this process. One is the PDF, then you can say PDF reader, Excel file, Gmail, and other things like whatever you want to use, like Notepad and all. So all these applications, a single tool that can work is RPA tools. So this we were talking about, that is UiPath Studio, and we will demonstrate on this tool. So good thing is, like, for using the UiPath Studio, you don't need any setup in your local machine. You just need to download a exe file on your Windows system. It's around 200 MB exe file, and you will download UiPath Community Edition. It will be free for at least, I think, 1 month. And like in any ID like IntelliJ or in Eclipse, we create a sample project, but in here we call it process, that you can understand by business process. We just need give name of the RPA process and then location of the process we want to save, and then save it. So we will show it by the tool. But before moving to tool, I want to show few things that are used in the tool. So what is activity? Any small task, like in Selenium we do clicks, sand case, all these things. In RPA tool we also have this functionality, and these things are called activities. We will see in the tool. And sequence is the series of activities that and you can create a sequence and you can call it anywhere. So it is reusable also. And what is flowchart? So for example, it's a long process like we see in the menu steps. So if you want to create flowchart, then it will be more visible graphically. Okay, let's move to the UiPath tool. So I have created a blank process, and I have few sequences or activities also. Let me close that. Yeah, so let's see what the tool is about. So here we see the activities pane. We can use any activity like click or send mail or anything like find element. So a lot of activities are possible. We have to just drag and drop here inside any sequence. So this is the activity pane. And on the top, we can see to create a new process, a new sequence, new flowchart. We can save as, then we can debug or run, and we can record also a flow, then that we can run. And what is screen scraping and data scraping? For example, you want to extract some data from any web application, and just you can use the data scraping, and you will extract that data that you highlight on the screen. So all these functionalities are available that works on all type of application in Windows system. And but before we start, we need to understand about the managed packages. So RPA by default works on every tool, but still we should have some dependency. For example, I want to use PDF automation. So I should have PDF activity installed in this system, in this RPA tool. So I have installed, you can uninstall, reinstall, anything will work. So for now, I have installed few activities. And what is project? By default, when you create an empty project, you see only main.xml file, that is XAML file. And I have created few sequences. So that's why you can see multiple XML files. And for the demonstration, I will create a simple process or simple sequence. Let's create a sequence. Click on the new and then go to sequence. This is sequence 1, 2, 3. So what we want to automate, for example, I have a PDF file and I want to get the header and I want to save it in a file, or I want to show in some message box. How can I do? So as a model tool, it will take a lot of time and or effort, but there in just 2 minutes you can do. See how it does work. So I have brought a sequence here. Just click on the activity you want to use. So what is the activity I should use? I should use get text. So I want to get the text. So it's quite, you will understand by the name. This is the activity. Now what you want to get. So it says indicate on the screen. So I will indicate the text on the screen. So I have indicate it has inspected the element. I will click on that. Yeah. Before moving further, first of all, see how it inspected the element. So this is the property pane. You can see the property section. In the property, under the target, we have selector. Like in Selenium and all, we have selector for each and every element. There also we have selector. But here it is not the web application, so the selector might look weird, but I will explain. So at the top, you will see the name of the application. That is unique. And in few lines, you will see like the title, whatever we have extracted, it will extract by name of the field, and it will say what it is text, image, all these things, and it will use few other elements also to correctly identify the element. For example, here we have title, and so title it choose from this title, order ID something number.pdf. So suppose name of the PDS is changed, then this selector will also fail. So first of all, we can highlight the element. How does it highlight? It is highlighting correctly. Suppose now you want to change. So I want it should work for any PDF file. So I can write star.pdf. Star means like you can say like this type of thing. And then you need to validate whether this selector is correct or not. Yes, so still it can validate and then highlight again. So still it's highlighting. It means our select is working fine. So I will just click on the OK button. So this is how it inspects the element. And like in automation tool, we save the value in, we save the output in some variable. Here also we can do. So here we have output. Just press Control K and give the name of the variable. Like variable I can give v123. Any variable you can give. Okay, so variable we can also see on the bottom side also. Here we can see variable and its type, scope, whatever the default value you can also set. So this is how the variables and all these things work. And suppose I want to display this value in some message box, I will just drag and drop the activity. Message box and just type here the variable name, 3123. That's it. Now we can run this sequence, run file. Run will actually run every file. So run file I'm using to run that particular sequence 1, 2, 3. This sequence. So now you can see on the message box, text has been extracted, and we can save the text in any text file also, because for the demonstration I'm just showing how it extracts the text, and we can save it in any file. Also, I'm using any text file, write text file. Text, what we want to save, I want to save the value of variable 123, v123, and what is the file name or file path. So suppose I want to save in under downloads RPA. I want to save in new file. So it has taken the name of the file and with path. Before that, I will just remove the content of the name file, new file. Something is already stored. Okay, I will remove it. I will save, then close it. Now run the flow. So what we are expecting, whatever is showing the message box, it should also save in the text file also. Let's run this file. Okay. So here you can see the UI robot on the bottom side. This is the UI robot that is executing the task for us. And this is inbuilt robot. This is not the unattended bot. This is attended bot, because a human, that I is is doing some instruction and then it's executing the flow. But if we want to do it without instruction, then we will have to buy unattended robot. Okay, let's check the file what it has saved in the file new.txt. So here it is. It has saved the text but being infected. This is how it works so quickly. Within just 5 minutes task, in 5 minutes you can automate a small task. And if we talk about the you can say lengthy task, then it can take maybe 1 or 2 hours just. But still, its time is comparatively very less than other automation tools. So moving back to the actual flow that we want to automate. That is, we want to extract all the necessary details from all the PDFs. We will have multiple PDFs and we have to extract multiple fields. And then we have to save this field in some Excel file. And then we will send these details by email also. So these manual steps we have discussed, but what will be the RPA steps? RPA basically provide a lot of activities. So for each and every flow, there will be activity. So we know these 8 steps are manual steps. Now see the RPA steps. So first of all, we need to create a blank process. Okay, and then for example, we have to read few PDF. Then we need to specify the PDF path. That is assign activity. We can assign the path, and then we can read any Excel file using read range. There we want to save all the extracted data. So I have created few files. Under input, I have 2 invoices. These are the invoices, and what we want to extract, I want to show. So we want to extract the order ID, order time, customer name, and total amount. So these 4 fields we want to extract from all the PDF files that are stored at this location. So in RPA, we will specify the location of the PDF file and where we want to save. So I have created output folder where we have data. That is Excel file. In RPA tool, we will have to first read this Excel file. And it is already occupied with some data, so I will remove the data so that our flow can write the data in this same file. So now it is empty file with some header only, and we will save the extracted data in this file. So to read this file, we need to use the read range activity. Okay, so assign activity is done to assign all the paths, then read range activity to read the Excel file, and then we have to iterate for each and every PDF invoice. So RP also provide the for loop like we have in programming libraries, but it's not coding, we have to just drag and drop. Now we have to find out the element and its value. So how we will do? So how does it work? In earlier demo, we just extracted the title. But now what we have to do, we have to first extract where the order ID is written, and then we have to extract the value of the element, that is this order ID. Similarly, so it's a two-way process, like a two-step process. First, we need to find the element, then we need to get the text. Then find element, then you get the text. For all these 4 fields: order ID, order time, customer name, and total amount. So that's why we are using an activity that is, you can say, anchor-based activity. Name of the activity is anchor-based activity that will show in the tool. In anchor-based activity, first we need to find out the element, and by inspect the element that we have already done, then we need to save the data using get text activity. And we will repeat these 3 steps: anchor base, find element, get text, for all the fields, for order ID, time, name, amount, so that we can extract all these fields. Then we will save the data in some data table. That data table is internal to UiPath tool. Data table, you can say, similar to Excel row. And then after getting the data table, we will save that row in the Excel file using write range activities. So we had 8 to 9 manual steps. So similarly, we have few activities for in RPA tool to do that task. And at the end, we will use SMTP activity to send the mail. That will send the attachment where data is extracted. Let's see how does it look. This is a bit lengthy flow, but you will understand. So I have created this flow, and let me open this flow chart. This is the sequence. I will double click to expand it. Okay, so now you can see the complete process. Assign activity to assign the path to the PDF file. Then we need to get all the files using the directory.get files. Read range activity to read the Excel file. And for each loop to iterate over each and every file. Anchor based activity for each and every field. First find the element, then get the text. And whatever we get, we are saving some value. That is output value, order ID. Similarly for order time, customer name, and amount. So anchor based activity is very important to work on this PDF extraction. After that, we will close the application, that is Adobe Reader, and we will get a data row. What is data row? Data row actually basically will collect the data table. And what data table has? Data table has these components: order ID, customer name, amount, and order time. Okay, so finally we'll write the data table in write range activity in Excel file. So here you can see the name of the data table, INVDD, invoice data table. We are using add headers because we already have headers in our Excel file. So it will not write over the header, it will write in the next line. And then after that, we have to send the mail, and there we are using SMTP activity. I will just specify the username, password, port, server, attachments, whatever you want to attach, body, subject, all these things we can give. It provides a lot of options. Okay, so let's run this scenario. I'm closing all the applications, so it will open everything automatically. File Explorer also we can close it. And data file I already cleared, now it's empty, and let's see after the automation flow we get the data or not. Let's run this file. Samriti, are you back?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay, so after this demo you can share the slides.
Sure.
So now process has been completed, and the bottom side you can see it's not done. You can see the robot, it means it's still running. And this is the tool, this is the robot. So basically first it opened an invoice, then it closed the application, then it's opened another invoice, then it will close the application. It works fine. Okay, it closed. Okay, so it's still running. Maybe it takes few seconds after completing the process, but it should be moved. Let's see the output meanwhile. Yeah, now it has closed. So in the output, like we can get the logs, but here we don't get any error, so we don't see any log. We see like execution took 1 minute 11 seconds. Now let's see the output file. So here we can see order ID, customer name, amount, and order time. Don't worry, we have amount, but it's not visible. You can see here. So if I click on the cell, then it will be visible. It's hidden because of some acceleration. So we can have n number of PDF file. We can have hundreds of PDF file, and it will do automatically that task. And now I have to see, did I get the email or not? For that, for a moment, I will have to stop share and then I will reshare because I will open my Gmail ID with some username password. Sharing again. Is it visible? So here I got the mail. Time is 3:53 p.m. and what we got, whatever we specify in the RK tool. So we got the data.xml 10 KB file with some subject from to everything we got it. So this kind of output file we get after doing such automation flow. Samiti, over to you. Stop sharing.
Yeah. So can you continue sharing, Lovely?
Okay, sure.
As I'm having internet here. Thank you.
Yes, you can start.
Okay. So now coming to data analytics section. So here we have seen that RPA generates a load of data, any audit trails, each and every logging by a specific bot of what is happening and where. Now all this data can be used in the data analytics section. So here we'll be taking about three approaches of the data analytics, which are process mining, simulation, and machine use them or how they can be benefit using the RPA. Lovely, can you switch to the next slide? Okay. So first coming to the process mining, just explaining this a little bit so that we have a clear idea as in what exactly is process mining. So mining collects all the data and then quickly analyze all the data, all the flows that are happening in our department or in an organization. So for the process mining, it basically needs three things such as ID, activity, and timestamp. ID can be any unique thing. For example, if we consider this example to relate it, order number is one of the ID. Other than that, an activity. For example, if something is happening in the system, for example, you are fetching the invoice or anything. Third is the timestamp, as in when exactly has this process been done. With these three things, we'll be able to get a high level chart. We can have an activity flow and see if there are any bottlenecks, we need to investigate any unwanted paths that's been happening, anything that can be optimized. So here, let's see how RPA comes into the picture. Next slide, please, Ravi. Now, RPA with process mining can come at two stages. One is the pre-RPA stage. Pre-RPA stage is when we need to analyze when do we really need to want to use the RPA? For example, we have a certain set of data of how our organization is running presently. We see it and we analyze if there are any bottlenecks with it. If there are any bottlenecks, or we think that with RPA, our organization can have a better utilization of the work, or it can increase its efficiency, we can then have the RPA into the picture. Second, RPA comes, the process mining comes when the RPA is in the picture, that is the post RPA stage. So in this post RPA stage, we see that after we have this, for example, we had this log, and now we can see that are we really benefiting with this? So now with the RPA, for example, the manual process of extracting the invoice data from the invoices and mailing it to the certain clients was taking 4 hours. Now with RPA, is it taking 2 hours or 1 hour? So for all these tasks, for all these analysis, process mining is used. Now second would be the process simulation. Next slide, please, Lovely. So, sorry, before that, we'll discuss RPA with machine learning. So machine learning comes when we really want to optimize the process and we don't know exactly what to change here. Now let's relate with this example that we discussed. So here, for example, this bot was running on every 20th of the month, and we were getting all the expenses, and the company was seeing that how much cost it bears with its employees. Now we have this audit trails, and we think that, for example, this machine learning algorithm, we feed this all these audit trails into the machine learning, and it says that rather than 20th of the month, if we collect all the data on 15th, we'll get a better result out of it. So here we need, with the audit trails, we can have a machine learning algorithm running on them so that we can improve our processes, right? And the third is the process simulation. So here simulation is building the model of the world. And now here, as you will see, that we have a little model, a little bot who is running all our processes. Now, continuing the example of machine learning, as it said, that on every 20th of the month or every 15th of the month, if we start this bot and collect all this data and send the invoices, it will be a better, more efficiency to the organization, more risk analysis, cost estimation, right? So now rather than actually implementing it, we can have the bot running it. So we don't have to take the guesswork. We'll be completely sure by running the simulation model. So it's less risky and less, we won't have to use any guesswork on that. So these three things is RPA generates a lot of data, which can be further used to have our data sections and have a better optimization with all the data. Yeah. So yes, thank you all. So this ends our session here. So it was all. All the question and answers, please, are welcome. Although we try to cater that.
Something I want to share. Basically, I am using virtual VM inside my Mac. So you can see the parallel icon, that is parallel software to run any virtual machine. And inside Mac, I'm using Windows virtual machine because RPA tools can automate the Windows application only as of now. So that's why. Any question? You can raise the hand. You can ask in the Q&A.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So my question is, I put that in the chat also. I understand the difference between the RPA tools and the test automation tools. I understand that test automation tools are basically designed towards the assertion model, wherein we want to verify each and every step, whether it is successful or not. And we want to move forward, or if it is not successful also in sometimes. But in the case of process automation, we don't want to move forward many times if the process is failed, right? And it is moreover designed towards those things. And all the RPA tools, whether it is UiPath or Blue Prism or any other tool, automation anywhere, they have their roots in they were doing something, the founders were doing something in .NET, right? And they wrap the components and they made productize it basically. So my question is, because in my company also, there was people were not so much aware, and they were asking that because automation was not there. I implemented automation in that company. So they were asking me that whether we can use RPA tools to automate any test case. And I do not have a clear answer to them. right?
So what I say, yeah.
And if,
So basically,
Hmm.
yeah, please continue.
Yeah, so what I think is, I mean, going forward, this is just a discussion. So going forward, I guess there are much more capabilities in RPA tools as compared to test automation tools. Yeah, there are some things that can be customized and done using test automation tools only, but we can, I mean, the vendors can combine the capability of the RPA tools and test automation tools maybe 5 years down the line or 3 years down the line, and these two fields can converge in one way. That is my point of view.
Yeah. Maybe it can be in future, but right now, RPA tool, why people don't use for the test ethics, because it's a very costly tool. If you talk about the license cost, it will, I think, consume $2,000 to $8,000 per license per year.
Mhm.
And other automation tools like for web applications, Selenium, we have free of cost. So this is one of the factors. And RPA tool cannot do everything that Selenium can do, but RPA can do a lot of things that is rule based. So for the web
I mean,
application automation, we
they're,
will not recommend.
yes, I also told them the same thing, but they were saying that the, I mean, rule-based is automation also. Why can't it do automation? So I mean, it's very hard to explain them, to convince them what
Okay,
is
okay.
between
Another point.
automation and
Another
RPA.
point. Another
Just to
point.
add that many people usually get confused between the test automation and process automation. So you, in the process automation, you work on the real life data rather than the test data. So it's not something that you are validating. It's something that you are improving in an organization. Yeah, Lovely, you wanted to add something?
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, if we talk about the test automation, so it is not the UI automation always. So basically, UI automation run very slow. That's why we move to other automation also, like API automation. But disadvantage with RPA tool is that, or you can say advantage also, it work on the UI layer only with multiple applications. So only for UI layer, if you want to use for the automation of any web application, you can, but it's not recommended because it's costly also, and it's not as fast as other automation tools are there for web application. It's basically
Yeah.
to mimic the human action, not just time saving. It will reduce the error, it will mimic the human, but it will not be that much fast as compared to backend testing, API testing, all this testing.
Yeah, I
But
also
still,
told them the same.
yeah, it's a still debatable topic, but do we have any other question?
Nothing, nothing.
Yeah, there's
Thank
Neha,
you,
I
Vijay.
guess.
Hey, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that you were capturing the objects through which you were going through, like whatever you want to automate. So where do we store it? The question is, where do we store those objects captured? Or if there is a possibility, let's say I have captured an object of a page. In future, it may happen that it gets changed. So in that case, can I have the the ability to change it manually going to the document, or again if there is a change I have to go back to the page and record the object?
So what people do, they actually write down the small sequence and they reuse everywhere. So suppose you have used a small sequence and you can call it in another sequence, but still, if the under inspect element has been changed, right? So let's say element has been changed, but under the find element, again you will have to inspect the element, click
Correct.
it on the screen, or
Right.
you can directly change the selector. Yeah.
Correct.
This we will have to do. And other than that, it creates just a single XAML file that you can share with anyone. So everything is inside that XAML file only.
Okay. So we have the option either to select again from the screen or go to the XML and change it.
In XML format, I'm not sure you will be able to read and change
Okay.
because it will be quite complex for the lengthy flow. But here it's very easy. In under selector, you can change directly here. Here it is the selector. So otherwise, you can inspect the element again, like indicate on the screen. Any element you can inspect.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. So one more thing on this, on the same line, there was a mention about RPA being clubbed or integrated with ML. So is there a future plan or any such ideas where the changes that we are doing as of now manually for the object that can be done using any such algorithms where we identify the object using some algorithms from the DOM or whichever, if it's I mean web based from the DOM, or if it's a Windows from the objects that we select. Is there a future vision or
Yes.
anything in plan?
RPA tools are already evolving and they are using ML. Like for the image recognition, text recognition, they are using computer vision machine algorithm in most of the components. But in every component, they are not using like click something, do something, read text, write text. This is quite simple, but to read the images, read the text from the images, these activities, they are using machine learning AI.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just yeah, I got your point. So as you said, we are using some part in the ML. So just wanted to understand if that's the case. Like, are we in a position to say that image processing can be used to automate and see if there is a logo? Let's say there is a logo in a page, and we want to verify the next time we come in that the logo is same as before and has not changed.
Yeah.
Not only on the
So
video.
basically, like we talk, RPA is for rule-based tasks. If you want to use only for the image recognition, then why don't you go for any machine learning model that only recognize the image? So for that, we don't need the RPA.
Correct.
We need RPA if multiple applications are involved, and one of the flow is image recognition.
Right. Okay. Understood. Yeah. Got your point.
Thank you. We are running out of time.
Yeah. Hi all.
Hi.
There is a one question. Hello.
Hi.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for providing this session. Session is really very useful for us. So one question is like, for the data analytics part, do we have any activities available in UiPath, or for the data analysis, data analytics part?
Basically, these tools can gather the data in any structured form, like in Excel, and these tools can be integrated with any ERP system also. So the integration is available, like they can feed the data in any Excel file or in any ERP system also. But for the further analytics, there will be any machine learning model or any other analysis or any other statistic algorithm.
Okay.
But
And
you can use this data as a trained data for any model.
oh, okay. And can this tool be integrated with Python as well? This UiPath?
No, I think no. But
Can we use this code in it?
they support only .NET only, C#.NET.
Yeah. And mostly it is successful because it does not use any coding methods, rather it uses any flowcharts and sequences. So any non-coder also, they promote non-coders also to use this tool, and so that it's easy for everyone.
And one other question is like, if my element is like the locator of my element is like dynamic, it gets like at one time it gets 1, and then other time if I am running like 2, 3, 4. So can it scatter the dynamic elements which are located on the web page as well? This
So
tool?
for that, you will have to handle yourself, because when we inspect the element, it provides the locator in 3 or 4 lines. So whatever the variable line or whatever you think is the not the constant thing, you can remove that line from the locator and you can add your thing. Like for the PDF, I added star.pdf in the title. So you can add or you can remove any line from the by default locator. But it will use a lot of things, not only the application name or title, it will extract by the name of the field also. So it uses multiple fields. So one of them will also always match. Sometimes it will give error, but still you will have to modify yourself. Should I show, or did you get it? Okay, let's say, so here we had locator for just remove the variable part because it's taking other things also.
Hello.